The Mandukya Upanishad belongs to the Atharva Veda. Its primary focus is the sacred syllable Om and the four states of consciousness. It teaches us that the entire universe is nothing but Om. It says that the past, the present, and the future are all contained within this one sound. Even that which exists beyond time is also Om. The text starts by telling us that the self, which is called Atman, is the same as the ultimate reality, which is called Brahman. This is a revolutionary idea. It means that the divine or the truth you are searching for is not outside of you. It is your very own nature. To help us understand this, the Upanishad divides our experience into four distinct quarters or states. The first state, the waking state, Vaishvanara. The first quarter is the waking state. This is the state you are in right now as you listen to or read these words. In this state, our consciousness is turned outward. We interact with the physical world using our five senses. We see colors, we hear sounds, we touch objects, we taste food, and we smell scents. The Upanishad describes this state as having 7 limbs and 19 mouths. This sounds strange, but it is symbolic. The 19 mouths refer to our 5 senses of perception, our 5 senses of action, the 5 types of vital breath, and the 4 functions of the mind, which are the thinking mind, the intellect, the ego, and memory. Through these 19 channels, we consume the physical world. In this state, we believe that the world of objects is the only reality. We feel limited by our bodies and our physical surroundings. This is where most of us spend our entire lives, thinking we are just a body in a world of other bodies. The second state, the dream state, Taijasa. The second quarter is the dream state. When you go to sleep and start dreaming, your consciousness turns inward. You are no longer aware of the physical room or the people around you. Instead, you create a whole new world inside your mind. In the dream state, you still have experiences. You might feel joy or fear or excitement. You might see landscapes and talk to people. But these objects are not made of physical matter. They are made of impressions and memories. The Upanishad calls this state Taijasa, which means the luminous. It is called luminous because the mind shines with its own light to create the dream world without the help of the external sun or physical objects. In this state, you are still the experiencer, but the world you experience is purely mental. This shows us that our consciousness can create entire realities without any external help. The third state, the deep sleep state, Prajna. The third quarter is the state of deep dreamless sleep. This is the state where you are so deeply asleep that you do not even dream. There are no objects, no people, no thoughts, and no desires. You might think this state is just a blank void, but the Upanishad says it is a state of bliss. When you wake up from a deep sleep, you often say, "I slept so well, I did not know anything." That feeling of peace comes because in deep sleep, the mind and the senses fold back into a single point. There is no duality. There is no me and the world. There is only a mass of consciousness. This state is called prajna, which means the knower. In this state, you are closest to your true nature, but you are not aware of it because a thin veil of ignorance covers your experience. It is like being in a dark room where everything exists, but you cannot see it. The fourth state, the true self, Turiya. Now we come to the most important part of the Mandukya Upanishad, which is the fourth state called Turiya. Interestingly, Turiya is not actually a state like the other three. It is the background or the foundation upon which the other 3 states happen. The Upanishad describes Turiya by telling us what it is not. It is not conscious of the internal world like a dream. It is not conscious of the external world like the waking state. It is not a mass of unconsciousness like deep sleep. It is unseen, it is beyond empirical dealings, it is beyond the grasp of the mind, and it is ungraspable by the senses. Turiya is the pure observer. It is the silent witness. Think of it like a movie screen. The screen is there when the movie starts. The screen is there when the movie is playing action scenes or sad scenes. The screen is there when the movie ends. The movie characters might get hurt or find treasure, but the screen itself never changes. It is never burned by the fire in the movie and never wet by the rain in the movie. Turiya is that screen of consciousness. Your waking life, your dreams, and your deep sleep are like movies playing on the screen of Turiya. This is your true identity. You are the unchanging witness of all your experiences. The connection with Om. The Mandukya Upanishad then maps these 4 states to the letters of the sacred syllable Om. Although we write it as 2 letters, it is actually composed of 3 sounds, A, U and M, plus a 4th sound, which is the silence that follows the chanting. The sound A represents the waking state. It is the beginning of all sounds. Just as the waking state is the starting point of our experience, the sound A is the root of language. Someone who meditates on this sound masters the external world. The sound U represents the dream state. It is an intermediate sound that stands between A and M. Just as the dream state is between waking and deep sleep, the sound U represents the inner world and the subtle mind. One who understands this achieves a greater balance between the inner and outer worlds. The sound M represents the deep sleep state. It is the closing sound. When you say M, your lips close and all sounds are merged into one. This represents the state where the world is withdrawn into a seed form. Finally, there is the 4th part of Om, which is the silence. After you chant Aum, there is a moment of stillness. That silence is the symbol of Turiya. It is partless, it is beyond worldliness, and it is totally peaceful. This silence is your real self. Practical remedies for modern life. You might ask how this ancient knowledge can help someone living in the modern world who is dealing with stress and anxiety. The Mandukya Upanishad offers several practical remedies. Remedy 1. Developing the witness attitude. The most powerful remedy is to practice being a witness. Most of our suffering comes because we identify too closely with our problems. If you are having a bad day at work, you feel like you are a failure. But according to this Upanishad, you are the Turiya, the screen. The bad day is just a scene in the movie of the waking state. When you feel stressed, try to step back and say to yourself, I am the witness of this stress. I am not the stress itself. The stress is in the waking state, but I am the silent observer. This creates a space between you and your problems. It gives you the mental room to breathe and respond calmly, rather than reacting impulsively. Remedy 2. The power of Om meditation. The Upanishad suggests that chanting and meditating on Om is a direct path to peace. You can practice this by sitting quietly and chanting Aum slowly. As you chant the sound, A, feel your connection to the physical world and your body. As you chant the sound, you feel your thoughts and emotions. As you chant the sound, M, feel yourself letting go of everything into a deep inner rest. Then most importantly, stay in the silence after the sound. That silence is where the healing happens. It recharges your mind and reminds you that you are more than your busy schedule. Doing this for even 10 minutes a day can significantly reduce anxiety. Remedy 3. Understanding. Transvaluation. A major remedy offered by this text is the realization that everything in the waking world is temporary. Just as dreams feel very real while you are having them, but vanish when you wake up, the Upanishad suggests that our waking troubles are also transient. This is not to say that your problems are fake, but rather that they are not permanent. When you are going through a hard time, remind yourself that this is a state that will pass. Just as the waking state gives way to sleep, your current situation will give way to something else. This perspective helps you stop overthinking and reduces the weight of your worries. Remedy 4. Overcoming the fear of death. Many of our deepest anxieties are rooted in a fear of non-existence or death. The Mandukya Upanishad provides a remedy for this by showing that you exist in deep sleep even when your ego and body are not active. You go into deep sleep every night and you are not afraid because you know you will return. The Upanishad teaches that your true nature, Turiya, is eternal. It was there before you were born and it will be there after the body is gone. Realizing that you are the unchanging screen and not just the temporary movie character removes the root of fear. Remedy 5. Cultivating inner detachment. By understanding that the dream world and the waking world are both products of consciousness, you learn to walk through life with a sense of lightheartedness. You start to see life as a cosmic play. This does not mean you stop caring or stop doing your work. Instead, you work with more focus because you are not paralyzed by the fear of results. You become like an actor in a play, The actor plays the role of a king or a beggar perfectly, but never forgets who they really are behind the costume. Summary for your daily life. To summarize the Mandukya Upanishad in simple terms for your audience, you can tell them this. You are not just a person with a name and a job. You are a vast field of consciousness that experiences three worlds every single day. When you are awake, you experience the outer world. When you dream, you experience the inner world. When you sleep deeply, you experience a world of peace. But you are the one who is present in all three. You are the silent fourth. You are the OM. By remembering this, you can stay calm in the storm of life. You can find a sanctuary of peace inside yourself that no one can take away. You are the screen, not the movie. You are the silence, not the noise. This wisdom is a gift from the ancient sages to help us find our way back to our own hearts. It is simple, yet it takes a lifetime to fully live it. Encourage your viewers to spend a few moments every day in that fourth state of silence. That is where the real remedies for all human suffering are found. In conclusion, the Mandukya Upanishad tells us that the goal of life is to know the self. Once you know that you are the Turiya, you become free from the cycle of ups and downs. You become a light unto yourself. You realize that the peace you were seeking everywhere else was already right there inside you, waiting for you to notice it in the silence between your thoughts.